Yo, what's going on, crew? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Serrano. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, and we're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons to buy the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 in 2023, because I definitely think this device is worth the money right now to pick up, because it's a really solid device when you put into perspective what this thing can do. And so I definitely think this is going to be a really solid pickup for hundreds and thousands of people who are looking for a smartphone right now in 2023. And so this is going to be a really good device overall, and I'm going to get into the reasons why. Just stay locked into the end of the video. And if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through if you're new. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. Now, the first reason I think this device is worth picking up is because it has 2 screens. It has a cover screen, which is 6.2 inches, which is going to give you really good functionality when you're using the device with one hand. And I really like using this device as a one-handed operation phone, especially if I'm doing text messages with the outer display. It's really easy to type on here when you're using the outer display for typing, and I like to type to swipe, and so I find it really convenient to use this device when it comes to swiping because of the aspect ratio. Now the phone does have a 24:5:9 cover screen aspect ratio, and so it's basically going to be tailored very well for one-handed operation. You still get one-handed mode on here if you need it. Most of the time I'm able to use this device with one hand without having to adjust the display or whatever, but it's got really good operation right here. You can see we do have floating apps on this thing, so the floating apps come in handy. That you could use the outer display, which is the cover screen display, which I'm talking about. It has 387 pixels per inch. It has a 120 hertz refresh rate, which is kind of cool because you can control this display, which is 120 hertz refresh rate. But if you're still here, just type down below "I'm still here" in the comment section. But I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and boost the YouTube algorithm, okay? And make it 120. And then when you go into the inner display, which I'm going to get into, which is the main screen, you can also control it to make it 60 or 120, and they both have separate screens. So if you set this one for 60, the other one will still be at 120 unless you set it at 60 as well. So it's got a 6.2 HD plus dynamic AMOLED 2x display with Infinity O cutout, and like I said, that 120 hertz refresh rate on here. And so it's measured diagonally, giving you about, the screen size is about 6.2, but the full rectangle and the in the full rectangle is going to basically be 6.1, with rounded corners and a nice viewable area to mess around with when you're scrolling. And so you're going to get the edge panel right here on the side, which is completely customizable with all of the widgets that they offer on here. So you get your tasks, your smart select, your apps, and you can always go into the store for Galaxy, log in, and download more stuff for that feature. And so when it comes to the main display, it's going to be a really beautiful panel when you're talking about looking at it, messing around with it, because you're going to be getting a 7.6 QXGA plus dynamic AMOLED display with a aspect ratio of 22:518. Infinity Flex display is what they call it, and it does have 2208 x 1768 374 pixels per inch with the 120 hertz adaptive refresh rate. And so it's going to be really solid when it comes to using this display for scrolling. And right now I have it set at 60 hertz because it's going to save battery. And so that's the main reason I keep it. I usually, over the whole time I've had it, I used it at 120 hertz, but I noticed that I was able to save a couple of hours of battery when I had it set to the 60 hertz. So I definitely think it's cool because it has HDR10 certifications, which make it really beautiful to look at. And obviously you're going to get the option right here where it lets you watch TV on the Samsung free TV pass. And so you could watch shows on here. It's just a really beautiful panel, and all the features that this thing has to offer is really, useful. And so that's the first reason, is the display. And I definitely think it's going to be worth it because whatever you're doing on the outer display will continue onto the inner display. For instance, if I use this app right here and I open it up inside the main display, you're going to get the same app, which is kind of cool. So I really enjoy using this device when it comes to the overall display. So that's the very first reason. Okay, now another thing I like about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 is the fact that you can pretty much use this device as a gaming phone. And what I mean by that is that you can pretty much play games on here with the xCloud from Xbox, making it really usable. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're gaming, it's going to be a really solid experience overall. And so I really enjoy using this device when it comes to like gaming on here, and just messing around with it with a Bluetooth controller for gaming. You don't need like right now I'm using the G Cloud, but then I could also use this because it's a little bit more powerful, and so the screen is going to be a little bit bigger than your normal smartphone, or like normal size. Like it's going to be just in the middle of like a tablet and a phone. So it's definitely going to be very usable for the overall experience that you're getting with this thing when it comes to the usability of it for using it for like gaming and stuff like that on the Xbox Cloud or even Android system when it comes to the games. And so I definitely picked this device up a lot when it comes to like overall gameplay on this device. It's going to be a really solid experience when you're using it. And so yeah, gaming on here is definitely fun because it's going to have all the titles that you usually like to play on a regular basis. And so for me, this is like a go-to device to pick up when it comes to the overall display and performance and stuff like that. Now the third thing I like about this device is the overall sound quality from the speakers, and that's because we get dual speakers with this device, and it sounds really good when you put it all the way up for loudness. And we also get Dolby Atmos, so you can actually customize it, and it gives you a nice sound which will sound really rich and make it a little bit more full when you're listening to the audio quality on this device. So it sounds really loud, and it also sounds pretty immersive as well. So I just really like how loud this device gets when I'm listening to music, watching movies, browsing social media, and things to that extent. It's also got some really good features like one-handed mode, Samsung Galaxy That's the Edge panel, NFC wireless charging, and you could use it on a wireless charger. It has IPX8 water resistance, so it's gonna be really good when you want to use it in the rain. Also, you have an always on display on here. I kind of sometimes turn that off to save battery. You get your secure folder, your screenshot feature right here on the notification drop down, and then NFC for mobile payments, hotspot, screen recorder, just pretty much everything that you basically would need on a smartphone. And so with all the features that it comes with, like pop-up view for looking at your different notes and stuff or apps. You can also do really good multitasking when it comes to this device with 2 different windows. So they give you a ton of features to mess around with and customize with this thing. You could use 3 apps at one time on this device. So I think that's going to be really solid if you're the type of person who likes to do business, and you are the type of person who pretty much uses your smartphone for business or multitasking. It's going to definitely be a pretty solid look overall when it comes to using this device, because it's really good at multitasking and browsing 1 or more things, or 2 or more things at a time. And so I definitely think this is going to be a good pickup when it comes to the overall quality and use on the smartphone. Okay, and I like how it got this little desktop feature, so you can easily get 2 different apps on the bottom based on your recommended apps that they offer down here. So they give you so many different shortcuts, and then you get these windows here. You get your widgets, which are basically scrolling widgets, which are cool because you can actually browse in between those, and just a whole variety of features, more features than I can actually cover in this video. And so I definitely think this is going to be a really customizable, fun device with a lot of features. Like I said, the one-handed mode, the gestures, lift to wake, double tap to turn off the screen, double tap to turn on the screen, touch with the palm of your hand to right here, palm touch to turn off the display, keep screen on while viewing, alert when you pick up the phone for notifications, mute with gestures, fingerprint sensor scrolling, so you can turn this on, and now you can use your fingerprint to mess around with the notification bar. Really just an awesome phone for the amount of features that they're packing on here. Now the 4th thing I want to talk about is the software on here, because when this device released, it was running on Android 10, but when I go into this device right now, you can see it's running on Android 13 One UI 5.0. So one thing you're going to notice is that you have Android 13 for this device, and it's been getting a really good amount of updates, security software patches, bug fixes, and just it's really solid overall feel in the hand. Really good hardware on this thing. It does have a nice hinge. You can see that there is in the crease in the middle, there is a little bit of a gap when you look at it, but the hinge is actually really sturdy. Most of the time when I'm using this device, I use a case, and it just has so many cool features that make it fun to play around with. You do get facial recognition on the front, and you also do get fingerprint sensor on the side as well. And so it's gonna be really cool. You also do get a SIM slot right here, which is gonna be not the eSIM like an iPhone 14 Pro Max uses, but your volume rocker right here. You'll get triple cameras on this thing to play around with, which is another really awesome thing. But then you get another 10 megapixel on this side, and then a 4 megapixel on this side. So the cameras on here are really cool because you get 5 different cameras to play around with, and so that's going to be something that's really fun about this device. And speaking of the cameras, they're going to go up to 4K 60 recording with more features than you could possibly imagine. You can see that the photo quality looks really clean when zooming in on objects, and so It's gonna take really good photography, especially when you're using the night mode at nighttime. And you also do get the portrait video, director's view, slow motion, forward view, expert raw, single take, and hyperlapse as well. And like I said, the camera will go up to 4K 60 frames per second or Ultra HD at 10 times zoom. So you're going to be able to get that, but then you also get the wide angle camera on here as well. And so as far as the cameras, they're going to be really good because you get the 4 megapixel on the inner display for web chat, the 10 megapixel selfie on the outer display for, you know, I don't know, if you're you could also use that for like Skype calls or WhatsApp calls, or even, you know, Google Meets calls for, you know, doing FaceTime or whatever. And then you get the triple cameras on the back, the 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. You also get a wide angle 12 megapixel and a 12 megapixel telephoto camera as well. But the last and final reason to buy the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 is going to be the S Pen support, because you're going to get air command right here. When you tap the button on the pen, it lets you get all these features: the created note, smart select, screen write, live message, AR doodle, translate. You also do get magnify on here, which is really cool. You get air actions right here, which is kind of cool because it says no S Pen paired, connect S Pen to start air connection, you know what I mean, right here, connection button. Now you can do, like, you know, the actions or whatever. But this isn't the official S Pen, but you can use, you know, third-party ones which still offer some similar features as well. And so you get the air view as well, preview different things on here. You have the pen to text, screen off memo. You also have quick notes, and you can click here for more settings like sounds and stuff like that when you're writing on the display. And so the S Pen is going to be a really nice tool to mess around with when you're using this device, because you can do drawing, you can do sketching, you can do just do what I'm doing right now, which is just moving it around as a pointer and kind of just scroll with it. But it's capable of getting artwork done, notes done. And so one of the things I like to do is just make quick notes with this. And so I just tap that, create a note, make it full screen, and then just start writing away. You could pick your color right here, Samsung, and it's really fast, really responsive. Galaxy Z Fold 3. And you know, the pen is accurate. You could hit the button on here to do erasing, which I think is a nice, really cool implemented feature about this. But that's all I got. These are the top 5 reasons to buy the Z Fold 3 in 2023. But if you found this video helpful, I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people. But just type down below, I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And watch another video on the left or the right hand corner. Follow me on social media, and I'll get right back with you. Okay? Peace.